Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to take you through a full glute workout. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. So we're going to start with Romanian deadlifts. This is one of my favorite moves. This is a compound move working multiple muscle groups all at once. And the main focus is your glutes and your hamstrings. I love doing this first because once I do this and I move on to hip thrusts, my glutes are fully activated and warmed up. So I do recommend starting on this move. As you can see, I'm using wrist straps. This helps me have better grip, especially when I'm loading the bar and going quite heavy. So your starting position, you want to have your feet hip width apart and a slight bend in your knees. Engage your core and keep your back straight as you hinge forward at the hips, pushing your glutes back. So you want to focus on pushing your glutes towards the back of the room. Lower the weight towards the ground while keeping it close to your body, almost touching. And you want to feel a stretch in your hamstrings. Make sure you keep your knees slightly bent and your weight in your heels throughout the whole movement. Once you feel a stretch in your hamstrings, reverse the movement by squeezing your glutes and pushing your hips forward to return to the starting position. How low you go really depends and varies from person to person, but I do recommend trying to go below your knees. The next exercise is hip thrusts. This is amazing for your glutes. Do not skip this exercise. And now my glutes are all warmed up, all fired up and activated after doing the romaine, so I'm ready to tackle this. So start by sitting on the ground with your back against a bench. Place a barbell across your hips just below your pelvic bone. Bend your knees and place your feet flat on the ground, and you want it to be around hip width apart. Make sure you engage your core, and you're going to squeeze your glutes as you lift your hips off the ground, pushing through your heels. Keep your chin tucked in at all times and your upper body still, avoiding any excessive movement. As you lift your hips, focus on scooping them up towards the ceiling rather than just pushing straight up. Continue to lift your hips until your body forms a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. And just hold the top position for a moment, squeezing your glutes. It's very important to do that. And then slowly lower your hips back down to the starting position, maintaining control and keeping tension in your glutes. Oh, I remember how much that burned and I'm literally dying here. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, this next exercise is very taxing. It sends my heart rate through the roof and I do kind of dread doing it, but I know how amazing it is for my glute gains and I have seen glute gains since I've been doing it. So we're not gonna skip this. So you wanna start by standing on an elevated surface. So in this instance, I am using a plate. And you wanna have your toes pointing forward and your heel hanging off the edge. Take a step back with your other foot, keeping your torso upright and your core engaged. Before lowering down, make sure you hinge forward slightly at the hips, pushing your glutes back, and you want to maintain a slight forward lean throughout the movement to emphasize the glutes. Lower your body down by bending both knees, aiming to bring your back knee towards the ground. Keep your front knee aligned with your ankle and avoid letting it go past your toes. As you lower down, focus on keeping your weight in your front heel and maintaining a straight back. Once your back knee is close to the ground or slightly touches it, push through your front heel to return to the starting position. If you've been following me for some time, you would have noticed that sometimes I use 2 dumbbells on each hand, but in this case I wanted to only use 1 dumbbell and just to see the difference, but I did go heavier. And yeah, if you are using 1 dumbbell, you just want to make sure that the dumbbell is in front of your leg, not by your side. And as you can see here as well, I am holding my arms out to the side and sometimes I'm holding my hips. Now the times I hold my arm out is because I feel like I'm a bit wobbly and I might fall, so it helps my stability. And then once I feel stable, I go back to putting my hand on my hips. I'm not gonna lie, I was dying here. I'm sure you saw the way I dropped the weight. Next exercise is cable kickbacks. I like to use my own ankle straps as the gyms usually don't have good ones, so it is worth investing in some. So step back a few feet from the machine, keeping tension on the cable. Stand tall with your feet hip width apart and turn your feet slightly out. So I cannot emphasize this enough to make sure that you turn your feet slightly out, because you will target your glutes more and feel it in your glutes more. Hinge forward at the hips, pushing your glutes back while keeping your back straight. Maintain a slight forward lean throughout the movement to emphasize the glutes. Engage your core, of course, and keep your upper body stable as you kick your cuffed legs straight back, extending your hip. Focus on squeezing your glutes at the top of the movement and keep your knees slightly bent, and avoid arching or rounding your lower back. Slowly return your leg to the starting position, maintaining control and tension in your glutes. One of the reasons why you'll find that your heart rate is through the roof for exercises like this and reverse lunges is because you have to do each side. So once you're done on one side, you have to now do the other side. So the exercise does take longer. So that's why it feels a bit more taxing. But yeah, this is amazing for your glutes. As you can see, I am literally dying. We have one more exercise left. I cannot wait to show you. And the grand finale, the back extension. Except we're going to be working just our glutes. Start by positioning yourself on a back extension machine with your hips resting on the pad and your feet secured under the foot pads. I like to turn my feet just slightly out as I feel it in my glutes more. Hold a medicine ball in front of you with both hands, arms extended. Adjust the machine so that your hips are slightly off the edge of the pad, allowing for greater range of motion. Squeeze your glutes as you lift your upper body off the pad, extending your back. And as you lift, focus on squeezing your glutes and keeping tension in that area. Avoid using your lower back to lift your upper body, instead rely on your glutes and core. Hold the top position for a moment, squeezing your glutes and maintaining control. And that is it, guys. That's a wrap. My glutes are literally on fire and I am ready to leave the gym. Well done, and I hope you enjoyed this workout. Okay guys, I just want to show you the meal I'm having after my leg session. So I've got 200 grams of chicken breast, quinoa, some broccoli, spinach with lettuce, nuts and seeds on top, and I've sprinkled some crispy onions on top for taste. And I have used this on top, this dressing, which is my favorite dressing. It goes with everything and it's so nice. And yeah, this meal is to die for, honestly. It's so nice, it's so healthy, and I'm getting all my protein in after I do legs. So yeah, I recommend having a meal like this after your leg session.